So everybody keeps making a big deal out of experience. Look at you got to have experience. Trump doesn't have any experience. Hillary has a lot of experience. People talk about experience with politicians a lot. So NBC sat down with Assad, right, the president of Syria, or is he the king? I don't know how that works in Syria. Is he the king of Syria? What is he, Steph? Find out. So they sat down with Assad from Syria, the ruler of Syria. And it was kind of interesting what he had to say. Let's play it. They asked him the question about experience. And there's what...
Mr. Trump has no experience in foreign policy. Does that worry you?
Who had this experience before? Obama or George Bush or Clinton before? None of them had any experience. This is the problem with the United States.
He's exactly right. He's exactly right. They go, "What? Donald Trump doesn't have any experience. Does that worry you? Who had experience in foreign relations before? Obama? He wasn't even a full term. He didn't finish his first term as senator. He didn't have any foreign policy experience. How about George Bush? How about Bill Clinton? None of them had foreign policy experience. What do you think about the fact that Donald Trump doesn't have foreign policy experience?" And it takes Assad to stick it right in this news reporter's fucking face.
President Assad.
President Assad. It takes President Assad to show, what are you talking about? And by the way, you know who of all the last, 20 years, you know who did have experience in foreign policy? Dick Cheney. Oh, is that the kind of experience we're looking for? Experience. Hillary has experience, so that's the whole. Here's Hillary's experience. She wanted a heftier surge in Afghanistan than Obama was prepared to order. Anyone paying attention knows that the entire military mission in that broken country has been a dismal failure, producing blowback on a mind-boggling scale, even as the Taliban has become stronger and controls more territory than at any time since its toppling in 2001, 2002. That's her experience. She got more experience. How about Hillary wanted to impose regime change in Syria in 2011 by stepping up assistance to armed groups whom, again, anyone paying attention knows are in cahoots with the al-Nusra, which is to say al-Qaeda. In an email dated November 30th, 2015, she states her reason: the best way to help Israel is to help the people of Syria overthrow the regime of Bashar Assad. That was your experience. So her experiences. So that reporter at NBC would say, hey, wouldn't you rather have Hillary Clinton with her experience? You know, her experience said she wanted to overthrow you. She wanted to invade your country after she voted to invade Iraq, and then she wanted to invade Libya. She did invade. Remember, she invaded. She's invading the whole Mideast. This is her experience. Again, we'll go on. In her memoir, she, again, in her memoir, criticized Obama for not doing more to oust the secular Assad regime. She has repeatedly stated during her campaign that she favors a no-fly zone over Syria, like the one she advocated for in Libya. That means conflict with Russia, which is bombing sites in Syria with the permission of its internationally recognized government under what Russia's leaders and many rational people consider to be terrorist control. So that's her experience. The Democratic platform, by the way, pledges to continue military action in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Syria, and it pledges military action against Iran. So, yes, Hillary gets things done, and that's kind of what people are afraid of. But let me go back to Assad's interview, because he says some interesting things at the end. So watch this question from the NBC newsman. Watch this question and the follow-up. Very interesting.
How do you think history will remember you?
I hope that the history will see me as the man who protected his country from the terrorism and from the intervention and saved its sovereignty and the integrity of its land.
Because
so he's saying that, well, we're saying he's killing innocent people. He's saying, I'm killing terrorists to save the sovereignty of my country. I'm killing people who are terrorists. And that's what we say when we imprison Private Manning, right? We say, oh, he's terrorist. He's hurting our security. That's what we say But we do the same thing. Jose Padilla, no trial. We've repealed the habeas corpus. Now the government can put you in jail indefinitely without charging you.
What the first draft of history is saying, that you're a brutal dictator. You're a man with blood on your hands, more blood on your hands than even on your father.
No.
So that's a real tough question that NBC guy asked Assad, and that wasn't a bad question. You're supposed to ask that question. That's really, he's got a lot of balls when he's talking to a foreign dictator like that.
Yes, absolutely. Foreign dictator.
I wonder if he would ever ask that question to, I don't know, George Bush or Dick Cheney or Barack Obama or Hillary Clinton. I wonder. Because he looks all like a badass when he's talking to somebody else's leader, when he's talking to the leader of Syria. But I don't ever recall seeing a news journalist in America say that George Bush has blood on his hands for starting an illegal war and murdering 1 million people. Isn't that weird? Nobody ever says that? Isn't that weird? How about when we drone bomb weddings and kill innocent people all the time? Nobody says Barack Obama has. How about we just bomb the hospital for an hour? We just bombed the hospital for an hour on purpose. Who's got blood on his hands? We invaded Iraq. We invaded Libya. We're in Syria. Who's got blood on their hands? What are you talking about, blood on your hands? Nobody will ever say that. What about when Bill Clinton, some say was the people with the oil program, that he was starving Iraq, keeping medicine from sick people? The people who were on that program resigned because they said what he was committing was genocide. You ever say that to Bill Clinton? Hey, you got blood on your hands. They'll never, ever, ever, ever. It's a totally two-tiered world. It's the United States, everything good. Everybody else, we're going to shoot straight with those guys. But it's a mistake, intelligence. So that's exactly what George Bush says. You know, we invaded Iraq for our national security. We're fighting terrorism. That's what Tony Blair says. Iraq is a chapter in our fight on terrorism, which it isn't. So I just thought that was interesting. I thought it was funny to watch the NBC reporter. He really bought that BS about, hey, what if we have a president who doesn't have any foreign policy experience? He actually brings it up. Like, that's a good question. Anyway, also ballsy when he's not talking to an American politician. I would love to see someone have that kind of balls with an American politician. Wouldn't you?
I've never heard this kind of question.
Never heard that kind of question. Don't you have blood on your hands, Mrs. Clinton, for Libya? Don't you have blood on your hands for Iraq? You have blood on your hands, right? No? No, just this other guy in this other country. He has blood on his hands, not us. We've been dropping bombs in Afghanistan for 15 years. And the idea was we had to get rid of the Al-Qaeda. Got rid of them right away. Still bombing 15 years later. Doesn't he have blood on his hands?